Hey guys, welcome back to the Wan Man Show and Selamat Hari Raya to all of our
Selamat Raya.
Muslim listeners. Selamat Hari Raya.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry.
Okay,
Kosong-kosong kata orang.
as per usual, we are the One Man Show, the number one fight podcast in Singapore. I am the man, and over there is the one. And today we actually have a very special guest. He is Singapore's first professional boxing champion. He is, in a way, a lot better than one in that sense because one can never steal that away from him. We have the one and only Rafi,
Ruffian,
Majid.
What's up, people? What's up? Hi. How nice of you guys to have me here. First time actually on having this kind of interview on our podcast and stuff.
Thank you for coming on. You're in high demand, actually. We've been trying to get you on for 2 weeks. You've been very busy. But first and foremost, Selamat Hari Raya.
Iman was worried that you really don't want to do this. So he said, why is he trying to avoid us or what?
No.
Rafi's a nice guy. He's just busy.
Selamat Hari Raya, brother. How's your Raya been so far?
At home. Nothing much, duduk rumah je lah. Just stay home, pretty much. Just hang around, get in touch with a couple people through phones and all that kind of stuff. But pretty much uneventful, I should say. But still, Raya, so Alhamdulillah, still.
Great. That's good to hear. So you've been staying at home for the whole of Ramadan. Did you complete your fast?
Alhamdulillah, yes, I did.
That's great because
something different compared to Iman.
We don't
gonna learn
because we all know that during the fasting month, Ridhwan turns into a Filipino before 7 p.m. He calls himself Juan.
Later, 12 o'clock, I need to eat my lunch, my chicken. My chicken is waiting for me.
So now he doesn't have to pretend anymore. He can finally be the chosen one, no longer the chosen Juan. How has your Raya been, Juan? What have you been doing during Raya?
Nothing much. It's the same. Just at home, eating the instant Raya food, which I did on my own.
No instant noodle, eh?
No instant
noodle.
Raya. Yeah, instant lah. Instant paru goreng, instant lontong, everything instant lah. Just heat up, add water, can really.
Okay. No need to be all sad. We are not a sad podcast, huh?
It's not supposed to be sad. I'm quite happy.
let's start with the reason why we got Rafi here. Rafi, you are Singapore's first professional boxing champion. So tell us more about how you actually pick up boxing and where you are now with the sport itself.
Oh wow! Okay. I have to say I started pretty much very, very late in my life in this. It pretty much kind of stumbled into this sport. I think I first picked up my boxing glove and learning how to punch or learning how to skip at 33 years old.
Never done any martial arts before. But
no. I taekwondo during NS lah.
Okay.
They force you to do taekwondo and kick, like So that's the closest martial art if I have lah. Then apart from that, nothing else. And then I've been working since. Then I grown fat. It's what naturally people would do.
I'm still growing.
Not there yet, though. I was about 105 or a little bit more than that before.
I still got some ways to go then.
It's still not there yet. Coming there. So I was about 100 plus kilos. Then after that, then I started off. I think I told myself I just got to lose weight. And then I got a boy coming up, and my son was about to get born. And I told myself if I need to keep up with him, I said, cannot lah like this. So I tell myself I got to at least try and lose weight. So if not, the boys start to run around, I cannot even catch him. So that's where it all started. And then first time I went around different gyms to try to ask. I just asked around because I do not know anything about the fight industry or the boxing industry in Singapore. Completely don't know anything at all. So I tried. I actually did a class with Ray before once. Long.
The legendary Ray who
Yeah.
who
When
is
Ray was
Ridwan's best friend.
yeah. When Ray was teaching in Vanda at that time, so you can you imagine that. So, but then it was a little bit out of the way because it was somewhere near Havelock Road. So I was at C Club, and then I stumbled upon this fight gym called Fireworks, which is right by East Coast. So then I tried, then trained there for about a year. I think one probably knows some of those guys there.
So you started in Fireworks. I didn't know you started in Fireworks.
Yeah, I started with Fireworks. So I didn't start off with Arvin. I was started in Fireworks first, and then Fireworks closed down.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden they just bungkus, and then I was like completely okay lah, nowhere to go. And then there's one of the guy in Fireworks mentioned to me about Arvin because Arvin used to coach in Fireworks, and they say Arvin have his own gym. And then I give Arvin a call, and Arvin pretty much very smart lah, businessman. They said, okay, if you sign up, give you 6 months, I give you discount like this. So I make a deal with him. I say, okay, I sign up 1 month first. If it's nice, I sign up another 6 months. He says, okay. Then I sign up 6 months. I sign up after that. Then ever since then until now lah.
So you've been with Arvin ever since then.
Yeah. So from technically right after Fight was kind of closed down, then I was with Arvin since his boot key, his shops at boot key. That's where he kind of first started off, and then until today lah.
That's brilliant. Yeah. That's nice to hear. You should learn a thing or two about loyalty. You know what I mean? One.
Why you say that?
You know, Rafi stuck to the same coach for don't know how many years. What? See, that's what you call loyalty. Maybe you should learn. Now, Rafi, when did you actually think that? At which point? Okay, so when you were with Arvin, you were what, a year or two into your boxing journey?
No, less than a year. But just about less than a year.
Did you start fighting yet or no?
No, not yet. When I was in Fightworks, I still remember this. So, some of the instructors there, I think, who's this? Kade. You remember? You know Kade one?
Yeah, the skinny guy.
So, tall skinny. So Kade was teaching in Fireworks at that time. So 6 months into my kind of training there, or I just joined just a member, and then he say like, tell me Rafi, you want to try spar or not? So I was like, okay. I never fought anyone before. Cowboy.
You got a gum shield by then?
Cowboy.
Huh?
You got your gum shield by then already? Or?
Yeah. I got a gum shield. No, he asked me to get a gum shield first. So he asked me whether I wanted to spar. I said, yes. That's okay. If you want to get a gum shield, that's all I need. Like he gives everything so much gym lah. So I was very nervous lah, I should say lah. So the first punch that landed my face, I was like, holy shit. I still remember I was sparring with 4 young kids because again I was one of the oldest down there. But the best part is I get to throw my punches back at them again. And that kind of sparked everything. So 6 months later, every time if there's a sparring, I always kind of like, hey, I want to. Kena bantai, like, it's okay lah. But it's a really nice feeling being in there somehow, you know? So I kind of enjoy it. And then, sadly enough, they closed down. But I still love the sport where you got to spar, you got to play a little bit here and there. Then I moved to Juggernaut after that lah. So yeah, then with Arvin, when I started with Arvin, also same, just like any members. I didn't thought that I wanted to fight like even now professionally, or even in back then, like really competing. I just wanted to lose weight. The reason why I chose boxing was because I hate running.
But you end up running a lot more still.
Yeah, shit. I thought, yeah. So you see, my theory of joining boxing was this, and that's the reason why. This is the main reason why I chose boxing. Any other exercise involves a lot of distance running. Like, you know, if you want to play football, lari jauh, you have to run here, run. So boxing ring kan kecil kan. So you thought, kecil, so not so much running what. So, this should be okay, right? So that's the reason why I thought like, I got a good workout, plus I don't have to run so much. So that's where I thought, okay lah, I join boxing lah. But later did I know after that then that's where a lot of running comes after that, which still hate running lah at the end of the day.
That is such a Melayu thing to do.
Yeah. So so that's where it all started.
Okay.
Then, when do you realize that you suddenly like, okay, maybe I should fight?
No, I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't even have the idea of fighting. The one who asked me was Arvin.
So you just want to try for fun?
Yeah, completely for fun. So I remember I was training, and then I dare to tell this to a lot of people. It's like not many people get to spar with Arvin, and I get to try it once. So this was when his gym was in Boat Key at that time.
Yeah.
So I was just like any other member again, and he was there conducting the classes and stuff. So it was kind of, I think they were practicing sparring, like tapping, all that kind of stuff. Then Arvin called me personally, come here spar with me. I was like, mati lah ni macam, like shit.
You must fight my boss really.
I was like, no, but it's like I never seen him spar with anyone. Like I was wondering why he called me personally lah. I was like, shit. So I was thinking like spar lah. So, but it wasn't hard. There's no headgear or anything. Just like kind of like tapping and all that kind of stuff. But and then after that, then Arvin says, okay, tomorrow onwards you come and join our fighters training. So he was the one who initiated, okay, come and join the fighters training. I go like, okay lah, more training for me, easy, because more training rather than regular pay class. So I get extra training. I can join the regular class, plus I have a kind of a dedicated fighters training. So I was happy. Yeah, I said I joined that, and then only then after, if I remember, maybe 3 months, 4 months later down the road, then he asked me whether I want to try and fight or compete lah. Then I said okay. Then back then, as I think one would know lah, there wasn't a lot of like you guys have the Legends Fight Night, all that kind of stuff. There's not much promotion, so we all depend on Sabah events, and I tried for 2 or 3 times to join to compete, but there's not one in my weight class until one, which is, I remember one, your member.
Our event, right?
Yeah, no. My first fight was against one of your members, because you're the one who cornered the guy. A Chinese dude, 22-year-old. I still remember. The guy was 23-year-old.
Yes.
So it's his first fight and my first fight lah. Because there's not many people fighting at 91 kilos, which I was fighting at back then lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first amateur fight, and yeah. So I still remember that one. That was my first fight. So then, ever since then, it got stuck lah. Then I joined once amateurs event, a few Sabah here and there. Then ever since then that's it. Then turn pro.
I have a bonus question for you, right? So when you started boxing, it was all about to lose weight, right? And you say you had a baby boy on the way. You wanted to keep up with your baby boy and all that.
Yeah.
My question is, when you moved to Joggenon, right, and then you spar with Arvin, right?
Yeah.
Who was bigger, you or Arvin?
Oh, back then, shit. Arvin wasn't as big as he was last time, lah. Back then, it was a bit smaller, for sure. That's completely true. But I think he's still bigger than me, lah. I think he was still bigger than me. Maybe because he's a bit shorter, maybe that's why he looked a bit compressed.
Oh, big compressed.
That's all I can say. Maybe the weight's the same, but just maybe the height is a bit shorter. So that's the only thing. I think,
just a bit more fluffy lah.
Yeah, but he's definitely not as big as he is right now lah. Back then,
he wasn't always this big lah.
No. But he's not a small boy either. But now I think because he injured his leg and all that kind of stuff, and then he completely switched off from everything. I think from then he lepak every time, makan with us every time. Of course lah, you see what happened.
Yeah, when I first started boxing, Arvin was like the seniors who always come to KBS. He always comes late because he's got work at Penin, I think he was selling suits at that point of time.
Yes, correct. He told me a story about that.
He was a
Yeah, he
tailor.
told me his life story.
I got to see him in his slimmer days, and then he was sparring and stuff like that, wearing the sauna suit. So I got to see that part before he became a coach.
Right.
I think he fought at light heavy before, isn't he?
Yes, he did. He also had problems getting opponents. Then I think he fought pro also in Singapore. I think once or twice maybe. At the Singapore Flyer events.
Is that right? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, but I know. Definitely saw pictures of him being a lot smaller than he is right now.
Yeah. So he's got blonde hair that time.
Yes, I was about to say that too. Macam nono sa rambut dia. I saw the picture also. I saw a picture of him with his blonde hair fighting a tall black guy or something like that.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Now, at which stage did you actually, because I think all the while where you were boxing, you had a full-time job at the same time, right?
Completely, yes, correct.
So at which stage did you think that, hey, maybe I should go pro?
Oh, okay. Well, again, the decision completely all lies from Arvin. It was last Legends Fair fight. I still remember this one was I fought against what's his name? This English guy. The Truth. I think one of your member last time won. I think I forgot what his. I remember Alexis. Remember Alexis was there. Alexis was fighting this guy also. So that was my last amateur fight, and then ever since then Arvin says, I think that's it pretty much. I mean, you at a certain age right now, because all my opponents are all younger than me. All my opponents are all younger than me. You're at this age right now, you can't. You're basically fighting big guys. And I remember I being I'm fighting a lot of opponents all taller than me too. So Arvin says, you want to turn pro or not? I asked him, my first question is, again, this is how oblivious I am to about boxing. I asked him, what is pro?
Pro goal.
So I asked you, what pro? I mean, I'm fighting right now. To me, this feels very professional enough lah.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, this is pretty good enough. Again, I don't know what's pro. He says pro is where he explains a little bit where you pretty much don't stay at a local level. You go overseas and fight. I go like, are you sure or not? He says, yeah. I mean, I told him, I leave it, everything up to him. I say, my opponents, you tell me, if I fight, I fight. If I don't fight, I don't fight.
I think it's amazing the level of trust you have for him like whatever you fight this guy, you fight, go pro. Okay, you stop.
So I told him that lah. So he asked me to turn pro, I said okay lah. So I think soon after couple of months, I think about 5-6 months later, then my first fight was in Indonesia. So we went to Indonesia and fought my first pro fight at that time. So he was the one. I didn't even thought about this again. So he was telling me turn pro. So what the hell? Let's go.
Did you get paid for that first fight? I know it's not a lot probably, but did you get paid?
No.
I think that's something that pro boxers, upcoming new boxers should know, that this is how it is. Like when you first start out the first few fights, you might not get paid at all.
Correct.
Sometimes you have to pay to get a slot to fight in the event.
I agree.
That's how it is.
Like for me, I think it's like a little bit different. I think you can take my example for me. Yes, for a lot of those pro fighters who wants to go like a proper pro route, I think you take example from Ridhwan and all the other professional boxers. Like for me, it's a little bit different. I have my business which I run, so money wasn't the concern about me turning pro. So I'm not doing this for a living. I'm doing this completely out of passion and for fun and everything else. So whether I get paid or I don't get paid for boxing, to me, it wasn't the reason. To me, was I love doing it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the.
Yeah.
I think that's something really special that people don't understand.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you just do this because you love it. You are not doing it wholeheartedly. Some people feel like you just doing it for fun. And like the Thai guys, they do it to live, and that's why they give their all.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very true. I think just because you're doing it for love for the sport, I think that also makes you a good fighter because you really want to do it. Because you don't have to do it, but you choose to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like for me, again, I don't have to do this. I don't need to get paid from. This is not to me. This is not an occupation. Pro boxing to me is not for me to find my source of income. For me, it's my own business. That's my focus in. So, but my hobby is what I want to keep going. I still want to fight. I still love boxing. I still like the science behind the boxing and learning from people like Ridhwan and everybody else. And I kind of love the fight industry by itself, like the people inside. Mm-hmm. And I find it very similar to the diving industry. So it kind of relate together, I think. So that's why I kind of still want to do this. Yeah.
So it's interesting that you touch on the diving industry. Can you tell us what do you actually do for a living other than boxing?
Oh, wow. Okay. Like I said, I run my own business. So I run my own dive shop. I've been running it for the last 12 years now. It's called The Dive Company. We are at North Bridge Road. Very close to Juggernaut now. So easy. I just walk down to the gym. I don't have to. Last time, a bit difficult. So yeah, I've been diving for 25 years.
Wow.
And, yeah. So that's how long I've been doing this. So yeah. So to me, the dive industry itself, it's small, where everybody know each other. So in other words, whatever you do, people will see. And especially if you're like a dive instructor or one of the dive shop owners and stuff, they know you. You're more prominent in the industry itself, lah. So to me, the same thing when it comes to the fight industry.
Are you the Muhammad Ridhwan in the diving industry?
I think I am. I think I am long.
You are the chosen diver.
I'm the chosen diver, correct.
I was saying to you off air before the show how one of my good friends who had the pleasure of interviewing you while we were still working for HubSports 360, and he just I remember when he came back to me after having an interview with you, he was just so amazed. He was like starstruck and he was obsessed. He was like, Rafi Majid is the most awesome person I've ever interviewed.
MCW, Man Crush Wednesday.
Not only is he a boxer, but he can dive. He's a diving boxer. That's mad. And I was like, what the hell is a diving boxer? I don't get it.
Muhammad Ali practice shadow boxing underwater. That's what I do every weekend.
He cannot stop talking about you, and he's been asking me to get you on the show for a while now. So, Hanwei, if you're listening, I hope we are granting you your wish.
Yo, what's up, Hanwei? Hope you're listening, brother.
You can now sleep in peace. But you know how training takes a lot of time. And I know money maybe is not a concern for you, but it does take a lot of time from your job, from your work, right?
Money is a concern to everyone. Apa you think up?
I mean, it's not the main thing, but the fact that it takes a lot of time away from your work, right? I mean, you are physically there for your work. You are there diving with your students and all that. So how do you manage that?
Well. First of all, I have a kind of an agreement with Arvin. Arvin will always want you to fight someone. I mean, he wants you to keep active as much as you can. Again, I told him because I have to talk about my business and my work. I told him. So I usually tell Arvin will tell the date, Rafi, can you fight, for example, in June? At this date, I will tell Arvin purposely or be specifically on which date. Then I will turn a block on that date. Okay, I won't dive on that weekend. I got my other guys to go. Then I go and fight. But in terms of training, thankfully for me, I have a lot of my dive crew, my dive instructors who help to cover up. Like in your gym, you have your other coaches and stuff, right? So it's pretty much quite similar. So if you can't teach, you have your other coaches to do so. I will try to make time in the afternoon to train. Right, for me, like my classes, when I teach classes for my dive courses are usually in the evenings. So afternoon is where I usually do my training. So that's where I make time lah. So it sucks. Sorry.
It sucks? Why does it suck?
The suckiest part is the weight cutting part when it comes to the fight. When I have to dive, and then you go on a trip, you on an island, people lepak, makan, everything. Then you're down there, minum air and all that kind of stuff, and your fight's in 2 weeks time. And
man, cannot imagine. You know, like when you're a kid, then your family brings you to the swimming pool. You come out the swimming pool, you damn hungry, right? This is you go dive. You cannot.
To me, that's the most painful part of it. I remember.
Yeah. So let's make people understand. You used to be fighting like 90 plus kilo, but what weight are you fighting at now?
76.
76, and that's the weight class you won your first title.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's go on about that world title, right? Let's go about that title, right? Did you ever?
Don't care.
Did you ever think? Did you ever think that you could be fighting for a title?
No. Again, no.
So when Arvin told you that you're going to be fighting for a title, I mean, how do you react to that?
I again, my first question is, you sure? He said yes. You think can? Can. Okay. That's it. And the thing is, I don't even know is like, again, I do not know the industry that well because I was still young at the time. Young in the fight industry, I should say. I didn't know that I was going to be the first. So I just thought like, oh, it's a title, it's a belt. Because I remember Shahida had one before. So Shahida already won a belt. So to me, she had a belt. So, okay lah, I fight for another belt lah. I didn't know that I'm going to be like the first male. To me, it was just like, okay, this is something in the pro setup where people fight for belts, whatever. I didn't know how big it was. To me, it was a fight. And Avin says, okay lah.
So when you actually went in and you won that fight, did things change?
No. Nobody knows it. Until today. Sad life about a boxer though, somehow. Wan, you agree, Wan, eh? You walk down the road, nobody knows you, so right? No, people knows one more than me, I think.
They recognize the nose, but they be like, I've seen this somewhere. I've seen this nose somewhere.
People know one for the wrong reasons, lah. Not for boxing. It's for the nose.
But then I think winning the title was huge. So I mean, some people might argue, might debate. They say it was what, UBO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people can make fun like it's unrecognizable or it's not a huge belt. But to me, to be able to break the barrier of winning that belt, I think it sort of still paves the way for the younger people.
Yes.
I mean, as a boxer, when I saw you won that title, I was really happy. I was genuinely happy, even though people don't think that I was. But at the same time, at the same time, Iman lah, lagi. At the same time, it sort of put a target on your back. I'm like, okay, you are the first. Now I need to get more titles.
That's good.
But it's good. It's good motivation, you know. So I think it's really a good step that you did to win that title. Congrats to you and Arvin. And then it actually motivates a lot of people to step up their game. For me, that's what I feel.
I totally agree. In that interview, right after the fight, one of the interviewer asked me a question. So how do you feel and what do you want to say and stuff? I said, and exactly what I say is I may be. Then I realized that I may be the first, but this is not going to be the one and only. I mean, I want this to make sure that everybody can follow through from here. So just to kind of set the path from there. To me, whether I have a belt, whether I win the belt or not, to me, it's the achievement for me wasn't much about the recognition from what people feel. What for me, what matters most was at that day when after I won that belt was I can show this to my son. Goes like at 30. How old was it? 37. At 37, I can still win something. So eventually I can show this to him. To me, that was what I felt more compared to being Singapore first.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a very good motivation to have. And I think, thinking back about it, I think Hanwei was the one who asked you that question.
I think Hanwei was crying. Hanwei was getting wet.
Here's the thing, right? Rafi winning that title definitely for the Singapore boxing industry was big, right?
Yeah.
It was also kind of a milestone for Singapore sports because I mean I've been covering local sports and Asian sports for what at that point of time 6-7 years, and I've never ever had to cover boxing before.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, I think initially that project was supposed to go to me, and then I said, no lah, boxing, maybe not lah. I'm not free. So that's why.
Look down lah.
That's why lah. These are the bunch of people who goes like Singapore boxers.
They're now begging to do podcast.
No, here's the funny part, right? When Hanwei first came back with all the footage and he was showing me, and he was like so starstruck. It's like Rafi actually won, he's damn mad. He's like, he knocked out the person, blah, blah, blah. And then I was looking at the footage, I was like, this one Singapore boxing. And it's like, yeah, why he wear basketball shoes, yeah?
Oh yes, I remember, yeah. It was cool though, I don't know. But it's the thing is I couldn't find that shoe anymore. That's shit. I don't know where it went.
I'm
a shoe guy. So I like sneakers, right? So when I first saw the footage, like, is he wearing LeBron shoes?
Yes, you're right. Completely right.
How is this professional? He's supposed to wear boxing shoes. Are you sure this is not rigged or something? Yeah, but that's
completely right.
That's me on my part lah. But I think it's because of you winning that title that actually opened a lot of doors for Singapore boxers, especially to that guy over there. That guy.
Yeah, he made the media assholes like this guy that used to look away, like finally to stop, pause, and look at you in your direction, and then help the sport in the entire way.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you did it you did it because you wanted to, prove a point wanted to show your son something, right?
Yeah, correct.
But, sometimes it's when your intentions are the most innocent that you tend to create the most impact. And I think when you won that title, a lot of people actually stood up and was like, wow, Singaporeans can do this. And, it opened the way to a lot of people coming in, a lot of business, and eventually one becoming a champion there, and then now we have a ton of champ, with Hamza and all that right now. But none of this would have happened if Rafi, the Ruffian Majid, did not wear his basketball shoes and knock out that guy.
Well, I have to be very humble here. I didn't even thought that far is going to be an impact, but I would say, I want to say thank you if you thought that way. I would say.
I mean, look, when was the last time that boxing was actually, like, professional boxing was featured in the Straits Time? Before your title, I don't remember.
I don't know. Maybe one. I don't know one about.
No, before there were a few pro fights, but we were not the main event. We were just the undercards. I remember I was fighting in a pro professional boxing event. I was just an amateur at the point of time, but nobody cares about the Singapore fighters. So it was just about the other guy. And then Rafi was a star.
Yeah, but they do talk about Coach Kade back then, where he himself was a very prominent figure in the boxing industry, isn't he?
Yeah, he still is, and we still do talk about him. It's just in a very.
But then before since then him, and then after that been like quiet for all these years. After that, before that was him, isn't it? Because he's definitely one of the godfather in the industry.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, we're going to the 30 minutes. Iman, you want to do the?
Hang on, before we go into that, I just want to point out something, right? As you know, I'm a very peaceful guy. I'm a peacekeeper. I like people to get along, right?
You talk shit, bitch.
I try to stay away from spicy stuff, but I just wanna. I'm reading the Straits Time article on your win now, Rafi, and I want to point out two things, right? Firstly, it was your day, it was your night, it was all about you, but somehow the reporter, right, wanted to put in this line. Singapore's Muhammad Ridhwan survived a knockdown in the third round, but steadied himself to knock out Indonesian Jason Bunda in the fifth round. Hey, you sibuk lah, Wan. Seriously.
What's wrong with that? Hey, dude, I remember that fight. Bro,
yeah.
I have to say, that fight, I watched his fight, my heart dropped. my heart dropped when
when
fell.
he dropped.
Yeah, when he dropped, I was like, "Fuck!" But Jason Buta, that guy. I mean, to be honest with you, one took a very good fight on that one. But one stood up and then he fought his way through. I remember that night very clearly.
I was just creating hype lah for the main event.
Nak buat drama aja kan.
Drama.
Look, that's not the most crucial part, right? Like I said, I'm a peacekeeper, and I know, we hear a lot of good things about Arvin on our podcast. We've had a lot of people people like Chawe and stuff like that. And, despite what one has been telling me about Arvin,
what the shit?
People have come on the podcast and tell me differently, right? I don't know what has happened in the past between Wan and Arvin, but when I was reading this article, right, I now made up my mind. I think Arvin is a very good guy because of this line. Wait, where was it? Arvin was saying that comeback was so good. Ridhwan showed that he has got a heart of a champion. And this is an article about Rafi, and Arvin said that about you. One, I think you owe that man an apology, and you need to, shake his hand and kiss him on the lips.
I think
get him down on the podcast. Then I clear things up.
Yeah, saving Arvin for when we can actually go back. Yes, we can go back into the studio because everybody wants to see Wan and Arvin hug it out. Right, Wan?
I might get lost in his hugs. I might drown in his hugs.
I can't believe that he's actually praising you when he should actually be praising, his own fighter. But it just shows
I am one of his fighters.
He has such a big heart, Wan, despite all the things that you say about him.
I was one of his fighters. I was part of stable, just from different gyms.
Okay, on that note, we're gonna try something different right now on the podcast. Rafi, we're gonna do some quick fire questions with you. We're gonna give you 5 questions. Me and Wan are gonna take turns to give you the question and try to answer with one word or one sentence. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's start. I'm gonna go first. Have you ever peed or shit in the ring, or had the urge to?
No.
That's a lie.
In the ring, no. So far, no.
Okay,
before the fight, many times. Before the fights, always ritual for sure. Once inside, that's it. No more.
Okay. Next question. What's the worst job you ever had growing up?
Oh shit. Commercial diving.
What's that?
Where you cuci bawah boat.
Yeah. Yes, like
I wouldn't say. Yeah. I wouldn't say because it's worse because it's cleaning up. It's because of
difficult.
No, it's just the safety behind it. It's just a bit dangerous, I should say.
Okay, so cannot say.
Yeah,
okay,
I've heard that it's dangerous. Okay, my next question is: what is the worst piece of advice that you've heard about your boxing from anyone?
Worst piece of advice. About my boxing. Shit. I don't know, I never take that advice in terms of anyone who gave me advice, I always take it. I never take it as bad. I always take it as how you can look at different angles. So regardless whether is it a good advice or bad advice, is how I look at things. I wouldn't take it as bad though. I kind of think, regardless, anybody who I sparred with Ridhwan, I even asked him, regardless, anybody, even a new guy who just pop up a ring, and just want to spar with me, if he tell me he saw this in me, I'll take it as an advice too. I don't say anything bad though.
Okay. Oh, you're such a good person, Rafi.
Yeah.
No wonder Hanwei loves you like mad.
So opposite of Iman. Yeah, what makes you laugh no matter what?
Oh, what makes me laugh?
Wow. No matter what makes you laugh.
I don't know, my son.
Okay.
My son makes me laugh, yeah.
How old is he now?
It's 8 this year.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Big boy now.
The last question, right, is
it's
from is from our producer Adib, and I don't know whether he's saying this because he's hinting you about your age or what, but he wants you to decide if you had ever had a choice: do you want Jennifer Lopez or Jennifer Aniston?
Oh, Jennifer Lopez. Of course.
Why?
Oh,
Big butts don't lie.
Wait, I'm a bad person lah. I'm an ass man. Definitely an ass man. But yeah, Jennifer Lopez for sure.
Did you hear when we asked him why and he went, ah.
Why? What?
He has not reacted like that to any of our questions except for this one.
Obviously, Jennifer Aniston then.
But Jennifer Lopez is damn fit for her age. I mean, she's like what?
Definitely 50 something.
Like 50 plus?
Yeah.
Susu.
Susu. Mahal tau susu dia pakai.
Dia punya susu is called steroids, you know. Because I think she is still dating Alex Rodriguez, right? Who is
young guy?
No. A-Rod is a Hall of Fame baseball player who is also a multimillionaire, and he's been caught a few times for using PEDs.
I guess he hit the home run.
Yeah. Good man. He definitely did a home run though.
Something you will never do, one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, go back to talking about Rafi, please. Instead of Jennifer Lopez's ass. Now, Rafi, where are you at with boxing right now? Are you still training? Are you still wanting to train? You know, it says here your last fight is in I don't know when your last fight is. When was your last fight? 2019? It was in September, right?
Correct.
Which of course you won by KO.
Yeah.
So what's next? Are you still going to continue?
Yeah, because before the circuit breaker, I was seeing you doing like a lot of rolling jiu-jitsu.
Just for fun, completely for fun. I mean, I don't know. I'm 40 this year, so to me, I mean, I still love to fight. Ivan still wants me to fight. I will probably want to do a couple more fights, that's for sure lah. Jiu-jitsu is just, I would say, it's a retirement plan. We call it.
Okay.
Well, because you know how much physical impact it takes as a boxer. I think one probably knows that. I won't say jiu-jitsu is less damaging, but I don't think it's as damaging as boxing, I feel. So I think after maybe I slow down on boxing, I can start maybe do a bit more jiu-jitsu. That's about it. That's, to me, just again, a new hobby. Not to compete, not to win titles. So if it happens, it happens. Or maybe I can win a title at 50 doing jiu-jitsu. I don't know. Or
there's a master's class.
Yeah, there's a master's class for jiu-jitsu. You never know. Again, I just started this just for fun, just for keep myself busy. That's about it.
You pointed out that you are 40, still dirty. What's the motivation? What's keeping you still wanting to fight? We've talked about the contact thing. I mean, we've seen Ridhwan. Ridhwan does not remember a lot of things. He disappears sometimes. You know, he lives near IMH for a reason, so he can protect himself once in a while. And we've seen his nose. You know what happened to his nose after years of brutal punishment. But what keeps you going? Like, one doesn't have a choice. He only knows how to fight. He got no other business.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, maybe because I suck at football, I suck at other sports. Maybe that's the only this is the only thing I know, I guess, for now. No, I think for me, for a reason why I still love the sport. I don't know. A lot of people box just thought that is the glamorous part, and when people look at you, hey, I'm a boxer, kind of a thing. To me, those are all nothing. I love the science behind the boxing itself. What you have to do behind, why does people do this? Why does people do that? Why does this fighter did this way, that way, this way? So I'm still learning in that, and I still think that there's a lot more things for me to learn. So the science about boxing is still what interests me. And so what's the best thing to do is to practice it out lah. So when I watch a fight, watch replays, like any other fight, I will see why they do this and I try to apply. So that's why I think for me, that's why I still do it until today.
Yeah, I think in a way you are still sort of young in the fight world because you didn't start early and you didn't take a lot of punishment. Compared to me and many others. So you're still sort of fresh. But still moving forward.
That's true.
But moving forward, have you like discussed with Arvin to change your fighting style because of your age or something like that? Because you want to take like Floyd Mayweather said, the lesser punishment you take, the longer your career will be. And
true. We have discussed about that. This is where it becomes very to me it was a little bit
emotional.
No, emotional. It's you see, Arvin wants me to do a certain way. Then kepala, the stubbornness in me cannot. It's like I'm a very if you want to say I'm a very direct fighter.
Naturally aggressive. You naturally want to come forward. Yeah.
Ganas, you ganas, abang ganas.
Ganas rabak, ganas abang.
So the natural instinct in me sometimes don't comply to what he wants me to do.
Okay.
But we're still working on a lot of other things. Like right now, like for me, he did try to tell me I have to try not to change my footwork a little bit better because I cannot be I cannot walk towards my opponent too much. So I did change along the way, just to get. But sometimes the emotion take over lah. When it comes to the ring, dah kena tumbuk everything all.
Marah, bro.
I think there was one fight. I think there was one fight you were fighting this Indonesian, I think. Was it for a belt? I'm not sure. But I think you got rocked or something in the first round. It looked like you got rocked. I don't know whether you did. It looked like you got hurt. Whether it's a body shot or something.
Oh yeah. I think it's for the belt. I think. Yeah. But it wasn't. That was a low blow.
Oh, low blow. Okay.
That was low blow. So I felt that I would put inside, but he punches really. I got that one. I didn't get rocked, but I took a lot of fight. I took a lot of punches on that one. I remember. Yeah, I still remember. Yeah.
And you finally stopped him in which round?
4th round after that.
4th round. Yeah, that was quite epic. I think that stoppage was quite epic.
Yeah. So because I just ganas. I just again lah.
Gigit.
You are going to give Arvin a high blood pressure and a heart attack, if you keep on doing.
Arvin kurus kejap saya.
I did that many times with him, I think.
Then moving, Iman going.
Now it's kind of refreshing to know that even at this age, you have a burning desire to actually still want to box. And on top of that, you still want to get involved in things like jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. You are naturally quite an active person because your work as a diver itself and, running a dive shop and stuff like that it's quite, very, very active in that sense. So my question now is, would you steer your son into the same direction? Because it seems like he's going to have some of your genes. He's going to be, active, stuff like that.
Well, I leave it completely on him. I brought him diving. He loves it. I brought him down to the gym many times and he likes it. And again, he's at this very young age where, again, he don't know that I let him, whatever you want. Actually, my plan was to get him to start jiu-jitsu first before boxing or anything else. Because I just like little kids with gi. I don't know. It looks very cute in them. So when they wear the gi, but he never, because I didn't do it. He never got into it. But I leave it up to him. He's pretty active in a way. If he wants to dive, I'll be more than happy to get him to dive. If he wants to box, then let him box then. But maybe not so soon. Not right now. Maybe a bit more later. Yeah. So if he wants to do it, I'd be more than happy to support him. That's for sure.
Brilliant. That's really nice to hear. To actually have see, that's the thing, right? Now I think when when you became champ, it kind of opened up like this new era of boxers in Singapore. And then now we have different champs, we have other champs and stuff like that. And it would be kind of cool if like 10 years down the road that the kids of the champs would eventually become champs also.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And probably my kids will be reporting on it and like talking about shoes and all that also. And hopefully you will be alive to see that.
Hopefully.
let's not get it twisted. One has a son, right? One has a son. Irfan is how old now? 3?
Almost 3.
Almost 3. Wow.
So, maybe you have to wait 20 years. Can you hang on for 20 years, at least?
I try.
Okay, thanks, bro. That's all we ask for you. 20 years from now, when Rafi's kid already become champ, and then
we'll take it away.
No, you listen. Rafi's kid become champ, but somehow your son fighting on the same fight card somehow has a sentence or something in the report.
Because of the father.
Yeah, and then we do this podcast again, 20 years down the road.
Yeah, but I don't want him to do boxing,
You're different. You don't want him to do boxing.
Yeah, I don't want him to do boxing because like how people always compare father and son, and I'm damn good at this. So people keep comparing him, and it's almost no way he will get better than me, So I will just say, son, save the trouble, do something else.
Hey, isn't it the responsibility of the parents to make sure their kids are better than them? How can you say that?
There's no way.
Not his son.
You see Michael Jordan's son playing basketball? No.
Good thing Michael Jordan's son have to wear spectacles, know how to play basketball.
Yeah, but for me, if he wants to do it, he'll do it. If not, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it was people don't. They have their own mind. Don't pressure them into it. See what they like. Because it's the worst thing you could do is to force them into liking something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think one of the most important things that we want to talk about is your fight against the Thai guy. You fought the same guy twice, I think.
Oh yes.
And sadly, you didn't get the decision for both fights. So tell me about that fight for the first fight, and then going on to the second fight.
First fight again. This Thai guy that came in. First fight again. I asked Arvin, okay, fight. Arvin says okay. It was at this little. They weren't even at the stadium. It was like a little event place somewhere in Bangkok. I couldn't remember where it was.
It was in Ram 100 Thai Boxing Stadium, Rangkam Hang, Bangkok.
Yeah, but dude,
you sound like a Thai transgender.
Bodoh lah. Let Rafi talk,
So it looks. It was at this little dodgy place. I remember. But then again, it was a good fight where my first loss. I remember the guy was he's a very experienced guy, I should say. He played his game very well. I was very emotional again. The emotion came in, and I learned a lot after that fight, whereby what I shouldn't do. So the first fight, I thought, okay, I had a guy. I thought I know. Okay, I know what I'm supposed to do, and then I lost. Upset, maybe, but to me, the loss was I kind of need that loss, I think, to tell myself, okay, now you need to, you know where you stand. So I tell Arvin, this time around, the second time around, I wanted to fight again. So Arvin wasn't the one who says, okay, let's go again with this guy. So Arvin, try and fix me out with this guy again. Second place, we fought at a bit more of because one promoter was there watching us fight again, and he approached. I want to put on this on a much bigger event. So we fought at this WP Boxing, and it's a TV studio, very nice place, I should say. Fought against the guy again. Again, I lost. I thought I was close, but again, to me, a loss is a loss, regardless whether close or not. To me, it's just a loss. I learn again. I get bashed up a lot more the second time round, I should say. It's a big wake up call again, I should say. So both lost. To me, it's a very, very good learning event, regardless what people can say. a lot of people thought boxers should stay should stay at zero, like undefeated. Then your ranking will be.
Yeah, one.
So
yeah, you see,
a lot of people say once you got your first loss, nobody will know you and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think so.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I don't think so. I think the loss is important as a person, like in life or boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, yeah, that's. I think I have to say maybe because of the loss, that's why I'm still here right now, still wanting to box. I could go like after the loss, like fuck it, I'm 40 already, so I lose already, so that's it, I guess. But no, I just want to do more, I guess.
But in terms of technically and skill wise, right? Just simple so people can understand. What is the difference that you tried to do in the second fight?
Oh, second time round, I was trying to outbox him a bit more because he's a bit shorter than me this time. It's very, very unusual for me to get opponents who are shorter than me.
He reminds me of Daryl for some reason.
Daryl
Edmond.
Yes. It's a bit like Daryl's size in terms of height and yeah, and style also a little bit. But this Thai guy was a little bit more resilient in a way, I should say. He took a lot of punches and the body, but I did not play my game enough. I tried to outbox him. Then he come. I mean, this is where I learned a lot from him, lah. He play the dirty boxing way of game, I should say. So he come and he clinch you, throw you all the little sucker rabbit punches in it, and which is get you off your game. Which to me, people say it's all illegal. To me, it wasn't. To me, it's like that's part of the sport.
Yeah.
So if he put you in, and then from there I got sucked into his game lah. So I tried to outbox him a bit more. He clinched a lot more the second fight, I realized, and then he tried to throw a lot of short punches in it. And then I didn't go down on his body as much as I wanted to on the second time round. So I think that's the reason why I think I lost again on the second fight.
Do you want to fight him again?
Well, I don't mind. Well, this time around, maybe I should bring him here to Singapore.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome him to the lines then.
I think it's quite fascinating that your two losses came from the same guy.
Yeah.
And it also seems like whenever you go to the decision, you lose.
Yeah.
Because your other 10 fights, you knock out. You were knocking people out left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And on the point of that undefeated or the O streak being lost, I think that's something that promoters use more than anything else. That is a very that's something that can be marketed really well. And this is where relationships between promoters and fighters are tested, right? I mean, look at you. Like you said, you learn from your loss and stuff like that. But at the same time, Arvin was on your side, being the guy that Arvin is, he's backing you and stuff like that. Where else, like for one, when he lost his his promoter ran away. You know what I mean?
Where is he now, one?
Yeah, he's in freaking Africa driving.
Africa, was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So again,
I heard about that.
So again, my point is one. Come on, make amends with Arvin. You know what I mean? Arvin's gonna have your back. No matter what.
No, I mean when we left. I mean when I left the promotions. I mean when we started, there was no paper contract or whatever. It was just a handshake and all that. And we are still good.
Mutual,
we were still we're still okay. We started talking. It wasn't like a bad decision, and he knows that I had to take we all know it was a risk to go with Ringstar at the point of time, but I just chose to do it because it was the promotion is able to take me to another level, even though if it's for a while. I chose to do it.
Okay, it's okay. We can talk about your sad story another time. Today is all about Rafi. You don't try to much butt in like how you did for the Straits Time article. You sit down. Rafi, before we wrap things up, I just want to ask you also, like, we've had a few pioneers come on our show, people like Slasher,
Shafiq, yeah,
and stuff like that. These people are kind of like the trailblazers for fight sports in general in Singapore, right? And they've been through the ringer and stuff like that. And one of the things that we realized is that a lot of people who listen to our podcast, not to brag, but there's thousands of them. You know what I mean? Most of them are quite young, and some of them, eventually they love boxing or fight sports as much as you and Wan do, and they eventually want to go pro and stuff like that. So I think it only makes sense for me to ask you, like, you've been through the ringer and stuff like that, and you actually are someone who, they say you make a lot of unwise decisions when you are in your 20s, right? You joined boxing and turned pro when you were in your 30s, you know what I mean? So you kind of
I'm wise already,
yeah, you're so-called wise already. So you eventually you went through that phase that people go through, but at an older age, you've more experience and stuff like that. What kind of advice would you give younger boxers or fighters in general who, they want to try and make it pro in Singapore?
Mm-hmm. I would say my biggest advice to any fighters, regardless whoever, maybe they would just want to start, or they eventually wanted to turn pro, whatever destination they have in mind, if my advice would be to enjoy the process as much as they can. I think without enjoying the process and thinking that, why am I not here right now, it's just going to dampen your spirit. So you have to look at the positive part of the sport and enjoy it every day. And things will come. Things will definitely come. If you keep thinking yourself, how come am I still not fighting in 2 months? How come am I still not fighting today? How come am I still not turning pro right now? How come am I not fighting this, Then you're not going to enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, enjoy the sport, because people been doing this for so many years. There's so much to learn from this. It's not just about two hands, just punch someone on the face and you think you can get away with being the best. There's a lot more science behind it. And there's just not just science. There's mental capabilities we have to endure. And the people backing you up is also very important. So there's a lot of process behind this. I think one also can agree on this. It's not just the fighter, the people around the fighter also is also very important. So enjoy it, get the right people backing you up, and don't think about I want to turn pro. Think about enjoying this. The being pro will come, because right now in Singapore, as you can see, there's a lot of more people. It becomes easier compared to back then. So it's not that hard, but you don't want to become a pro I pro. You want to be a proper one. So to do that, enjoy it, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, I saved the best for last, of course. I need you to answer me, right? Why?
Quick fire lagi.
No. This is just the last one. I actually wanted to save this for last because I had a joke that is related to Arvin for this, but we've been talking about Arvin quite a lot now already, so might as well, right? As you know, not only is Arvin a brilliant coach, a loyal coach also. One, take notes. He also is very creative when it comes to fighters' name,
Yeah.
So did he have anything to do with your name? Of course, the Ruffian.
Yeah. The fight name was completely him. He take credit for all this, I have to say. He asked me, because when you turn pro, apparently you need to have a fight name. Again, I didn't know. So I will say, what you want to call yourself?
Diver.
I so like, yeah, exactly. Some people will say, you diver, you this, you do something diving lies or fish, ikan. I was like,
Rafi.
Yeah, I don't know. So I told Arvin, to me it was simple. So I asked Arvin, you saw the way that I fight. You know what I am. I train under you. My fight name, you choose. So you decide, because I think it's more important, because from the outside, when people look at you from the outside, they see a nicer picture of you or better picture of you, rather than you telling yourself, oh, I want to be this. So I told him he make that. That's why he picked up the word Ruffian, because again I was just very direct the way that I fight. Yeah, I just I got cowboy every time, but I was so I was so that's why he came out with that name for me lah.
Brilliant. He has come up with some really good names, Ruffian. I think the sniper also has something to do with him.
Yeah.
And of course, so. Yeah, it has the chosen one was
yeah.
Right? What?
Well, chosen one is also by him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's quite a creative guy. I can't wait to have him on the show.
Yeah.
But I have to say a big thank you to Rafi for coming on the show and actually sharing a lot of things with us. I personally did not know that you started boxing, in your 30s. You kind of give me motivation to actually not join boxing, but maybe after this, watch some boxing videos. That's about it, for me,
If it lasts for 5 minutes, it doesn't count, bro.
I go more. I hit more into the Arvin direction than the Rafi direction, I kind of want to. Both. I kind of want to chill and not do much and stuff like that. But yeah, I think what we need to be thankful for the most, and this is quite true because the fact of the matter is that you won that title. I think it was also maybe it was 3-4. Well, it's 2017, so it was 3 years. It was the 3-year anniversary of that title win a few months ago, right?
I couldn't remember. Maybe
because there was a lot of local boxers who paid tribute to that.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, I think they reposted that. That's when Rafi won.
So I think so. I think that's the biggest show of gratitude that we have for you, because if not for you entering that ring with your LeBron James shoes.
I bought that because it matches my fight vest.
which was like snake skin, right? Your fight vest was right? If that did not happen and you did not knock out that guy to win the title, I don't think that the
floodgates... Iman will have a job.
No, I will have a job either ways, because my job does not depend on...
What will be the first then after?
Yeah, and that will be a lot more boring than you. Nobody wants that guy to be the first in everything, because he took on so many firsts already. So give other people chance lah, one, huh? I know he's still angry about it because he can never take that away from you.
No lah, one.
But yeah, thank you so much for being brave enough and winning that fight. Opening the floodgates. There was a lot of ripple effect and stuff like that, and one of the biggest person to benefit from it, if not for this podcast, is Ridhwan himself. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope to see you back in the ring a few more times before you call it a night. After all this COVID thing. Thank you very much. Do you have anything that you want to say to your fans out there or your sponsors? You want to shout out to your shop and all that?
No, I just no sponsors. Anybody want to sponsor can sponsor lah. But
I heard the dive shop will sponsor you.
But one thing for sure, self sponsor. Oh, for sure. All this will never happen if it's not because of my guys at my dive shop. All my crew, all my dive instructors, all my dive masters, who have been supporting me from day one. They've been following me for my fights. They don't know boxing until they realize that I box. So I'm glad they realized. Some of them now started boxing themselves. So all this was all. I wouldn't be here because of them. That's for sure. And of course, because Ridhwan also, I remember sparring with him a few times that he nearly knocked the hell out of me. I have to say I'm very young in this in this fight industry. So I so much more for me to learn, and I have to thank everybody who has been there supporting me. Juggernaut Fight Club, who has been nurturing me from day one until today, and to you guys for having me tonight, though.
Brilliant. Where can people find you on social media? Can people find you on the dive shop or for your own?
The dive shop is pretty much very simple. It's called The Dive Company. You can find us on Instagram or Facebook. Just type The Dive Company, is okay. Or Instagram to find me, Rafi Majid. They have me on Instagram and Facebook.
Brilliant. There you have it. If you want to find some diving gear, don't worry. Rafi is not abang ganas when it comes to the diving part. He's
underwater. When I come to teaching people underwater, completely different.
He will not punch you underwater. That's for sure. All right, Wan, do you have any shout outs?
No, nothing much. Just follow Rafi, follow his dive shop, follow Iman because he needs likes for his moral boost. And if you want to follow me, it's on tcw.legends. And other than that, nothing much.
All right. And for me, please continue supporting the One Man Show. We really appreciate the thousands of you who've been listening and continue to listen to us. Remember, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify at The One Man Show or The Wan Man Show. Depends on which side you are on. Again, Selamat Hari Raya to all who is celebrating, all our friends, all our Malay fans and stuff like that, except for Ridhwan, who did not fast for the whole month of Ramadan. Maaf Zahir dan Batin, 0-0 to all my friends and Malay fans out there. And as per usual, thank you to all the frontliners, the essential workers, during this COVID period for keeping us safe. We really appreciate you guys, and we hope that to a certain extent, if some of you are listening while you are doing work and stuff like that, we have been entertaining you and keeping your hope high. All right. Okay. Last goodbyes to everyone. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Then Avin called me personally, come this far with me. I was like, mati lah ni macam